What's good, y'all? StudioSounds.com back with a brand new beat breakdown. Last week we dropped a brand new bank from Massive called Mustard on the Bank Volume 1. You can see the little artwork and everything right here. I did a little beat just for the little demo video that a lot of people were asking about, just to kind of break it down. Mustard sound is obviously pretty simple. The main thing that you really want to accomplish when doing a mustard sound is just getting a nice full type sound, and all that really comes back to is just sound selection. So there's a couple of different mustard styles. He has his more kind of aggressive West Coast type style. Then he has his radio records. The radio records are obviously, in my opinion, a lot bigger, so that's kind of the style I went with. So this particular beat is actually a lot more radio friendly, but you can go both ways with this bank. We include all the little trap sounds and more aggressive sounds that he uses, but you also have the radio stuff. So without further talking, let's just kind of get into what I did and how I put this beat together. So this is what I started off with. Pattern 1, I started off with a patch called BA Organic XS, and here's what I played. Okay, so very simple, but it has a nice catchy feel. Now, if you wanted to have a more aggressive sound, you could go with like a minor scale and make sure that it doesn't flow as well melodically as this does. But like I said, I was trying to appeal more to the radio side. Once I had that, I actually added pattern 9, which was this bass sound. And let me just go ahead and select this just so we can go through this. And this is the hook section. But then I added pattern 9, which is his kind of signature bass sound. And here's what it sounds like by itself. And when you combine those two sounds, you get something like this. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to make it a little bit more melodic. So I added some chords. I basically just added 2 chords based on the root note of the melodies that are playing. So based off the first note and then the note that would play over here. So I used a sound in Massive again called the KB Synth E Piano. This is all from the Mustard Bank. So it's just a nice smooth piano sound. And here's what it sounds like by itself. I wanted this to be singer friendly, so adding some chords on top of it kind of made sense. So once I had that, I still wanted kind of a little bit of a catchier melody to really separate the hook from the verses. So I added a nice little kind of melody top line with a sound called the LD choir tone. And here's what this sounds like. And that plays every so often. You can see it right here and right here. So when you put these couple sounds together, this is what you have. And I basically had my full beat right here as far as the hook goes, and actually all my other patterns are just going to kind of rework sections from here. So I just kind of started adding my drums. Now Mustard drums are super easy to find. He just uses basically standard drums that you can find anywhere. So if you just kind of go through any kind of little Mustard kit or whatever on the internet, there's a bunch of free ones, you can find them. So this was like kind of the main drums that I added. Pattern 4 is just like a little crash, just an 808 crash. Okay, then I had pattern 13 playing, which is just a snap. Okay, and then on the second part of the hook, it's actually gonna, over here, it's actually gonna build a little bit more. So I'm gonna have pattern 2, which is just a kicks. Actually, no, pattern 2, I believe is, yeah, pattern 2 is the chants with a clap layered over the snap. Okay, and then pattern 8 is just an open hat. And this hat actually came from our Trap Fever drum kit. And you can find that at StudioSounds.com as well. And then I added pattern 6, which is just a simple 808 snare, just to kind of do like a little breakdown. Okay, so just real kind of heavy, like easy mustard type sound. Pattern 10 is another sound that I added for Massive, which is just his riser, so just a transition effect. And here's what this sounds like. Okay, so just use that in the transition because from here it's going to go back to the verse. And then I layered that with a reverse 808 crash, so really simple. Then it basically goes into the verse section. The verse section basically plays a lot of the melodies that we have over here, but it's actually going to be a lot more simple. So you get rid of the pattern 9 because we're going to use the 808, which is on pattern 7. Let me just find that pattern 7. And this is from the Mustard Bank as well. It's called the BA Kick Sub 2. So it's just a nice 808 sound that's already pitched for you, so you can just play it like you would any other little VST patch, and you don't have to worry about it being in key. Okay, and then that's going to layer with a sound with the actual kick, which is on pattern 5. Okay, so when all that kind of comes together, you end up with a sound like this. You know, and so on and so forth. You could obviously do a lot more drops and stuff, but this was just a little demo version. But it's actually really simple to put together a mustard type beat. The main thing, like I said, is sound selection. Even though his stuff is simple, a lot of his talent, in my opinion, lies in his sound selection. He knows how to pick simple sounds that really fill out a track very well. And this bank just kind of aimed to do that. You have very nice simple sounds, but they're nice, thick, and rich, so you can really play simple melodies, and it doesn't really sound bad or sound too thin or anything like that, and you don't really have to worry about layering. So you can pick this bank up at www.studiosounds.com. We will have more beat breakdowns and more complex stuff coming on the channel, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. Until next time, studiosounds.com.